So hello people. I wasn't expecting to be recording today. This is actually fairly important news that I have. I did not know about this thing here, so I'm going to explain to you guys. So I was building this nice new studio because I saw that you guys liked the explanatory videos where I, for example, explained how you do Minecraft screenshots and all of that thing. So I was starting to build this new big house that I can, sit in and record and maybe have a nice view here. And I ran into a big problem, and that was I had to build this massive structure, and I love symmetry, so I wanted to make it fully symmetrical. But that would take so much time that I would be sitting here for so long just copying it to the next side. Even with tools like World Edit and Axiom, it would take hours to figure out how I can copy this to that side, not break anything, until I found this little tool here. It's called Setup Symmetry. Now I cannot switch any tools, so you still have to traditionally build everything else yourself, but you get this little icon. And when I hover over the tool, you see I get all of these options here. So when I change my axis, you can see that it says flip X, Z, and Y. So you can make, if you do Control F, it's going to exactly flip from this side to that side. When you place a block, it's going to place on that side. So let me show you guys. If I place a block here, it places there, here, places there, here, places there, here, it also just places there. So I started building, and even though you have to just use traditional building, which is actually satisfying, it's still a ton faster. And what I enjoyed as much is it does not affect your world. It's not like it's going to suddenly cut your world in half and place the other side to the other side. Now it's generally because when I place a block here, it even doesn't allow me to place a block here. Look, I can place one here and it appears there. But what it is not going to do is it won't suddenly cut your world in half and flip everything. So that's what I enjoyed. I actually was searching a ton of time to find this beautiful seed of this lush cave, so that was nice. And then I just started building right away. Everything just copied to the other side. I was so happy because it works so nicely with my building style, because it also just copies like this. I just love this so much. It's super handy and it just saves you a ton of time because everything just copies to the other side. So I started building the studio. Before I started building it, I was thinking, where should I do this? And I built a similar styled house one time on mobile, but I didn't make a video about it or record anything, and I lost that world sadly because I had to reinstall Minecraft. But generally, I just love that simple house I built in a giant lush cave I found. I just love lush caves. Now everything is just lit up for you. I just love that. So I wanted to do something similar because I loved that house. But I soon ran into the problem that there isn't a lot of lush caves that have so much vertical space and so much horizontal space. Until I found this one. It turns out YouTube is a great resource for finding Minecraft seed for a build. So I just immediately hopped on Minecraft. I just put in the seed and it works. I just immediately find the Lush cave, I find the biggest chamber, set up the world spawn so I won't lose it, so I can just, do /kill. And that was. Also, if you wonder why this didn't exactly copy, and it's a long story actually, because I tried using a tool to copy this side to that side, but that didn't quite work well. So, what I find a bit annoying about this tool, but I guess it is reasonable, because you can turn this off, but then you have to manually do the configuration again. So I get it why they don't allow for usage of other tools while doing this. Like you select something big and you accidentally copy it, and suddenly, some bug could happen, world update could cause the whole world to just flip around. So I get it that they didn't implement it, that you can use other tools, but it does get annoying with big builds. But I'm fine with doing just a little bit more effort with traditional building, because I like building in Minecraft. Even building without helpful tools like Axiom is fine. It's just the symmetry. When you're building something symmetrical, it can get so hard to do that. So that's why I just love this tool. And this house, I just want to make it something nice. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take one screenshot and save the position. So what I will do is I'll go somewhere like here, right, overlooking the entire house. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this. I'm going to click comma to open Zero's world map, go to waypoints, and open full waypoint menu and add one called thumbnail screenshot pass. I'm going to call this TF and then make it be so it doesn't disturb me. I'm just going to make this gray or something like that and confirm. Now that's done, I can just go into my full waypoints menu here, this, and I teleport, but I'll still have my viewing axis. What I will do is I'll just look north like this. Just look north. I will look at that block right there, and I'm just going to hit F2 to make a screenshot of this. Actually, I may be better to F1 and then a screenshot. I think that's better. Yes, F1 screenshot is better. So I do F1 screenshot so I can overlay the two later after I build this, I will just take the other one inside of the software in which I make my thumbnail. I'll place the two screenshots together and I'll put the unfinished one behind the finished one, and I'll make the finished one 50% transparency and something, so then it will be this nice view. So let's finish the floor actually. Spruce is my favorite wood type. I know that a lot of people like spruce as their favorite wood type. I just like the perfect color consistency. And I feel that bare bones makes it look as good as it looks normally, because if you haven't noticed, I am currently using the bare bones resource pack. So you see, we finished that floor in half of the time. So now I actually would want to plan out where my house will be. So I think that the main house, I want this to be kind of like this. So you have this small balcony opening here. And this line to here and then here. This will be the main entrance. This will be the main entrance. and all over through here. And I'll do the chambers later. I will do the individual rooms later, but they will follow the similar pattern. So I think this is nice. I think this is okay. So now we just have to build it. So I think that this will be a nice balcony. So I will do 4 blocks once again, because I just love following the same pattern for all my builds. Just leave 1, 2, 3. And then just 4 blocks up, 3 in between, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you see, of course, we have this nice pattern. That's how my build, it can make my builds look a bit bland sometimes or continuous, but I think that my builds are nice enough without all of the complex texturing and light, because I'm going to use shaders anyway, now that I can, of course, because I'm not running a potato anymore. I think this will be fine, but I think I would want something different for this, but I can't find like a block. Because you know it, like when you have stone bricks, I'm going to show you, when you have stone bricks, I'm doing this in the middle, so you can do this. You can go from here and then you can place a fence on top of that, but I cannot find a wooden version of that. Like, this is wood, this is the spruce wood catalog, and I just cannot find any block that would fit in between, like mud wall, mud brick wall, mud. There is a wall made out of mud brick. Could move that to here. There's a wall made out of mud brick. Please look good. It just looks good. I've never thought about using this before. Okay, so this is 4 blocks. But I think we can go higher for this one. We'll just have to watch out with the roof. So the roof will come here naturally, and then I will put those like this. And then let's see, can you still see the arch? Yes, you can still see the arch. So then, for the main roof design, we're going to get to that later. So what I think would be great for this is to have this kind of style thing. And then something for the door, but that's going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait. I was thinking about making big, like very big windows. Maybe 6 block windows. I think 6 block windows are generally nice. 6 block windows. They look fine. But I think that's only going to be able to be affordable on the front and maybe on these last windows here in the back. But the rest is just going to be the classical, you know, this type of thing. Now I did have the create mod installed on this, which I did not do intentionally. But we have spruce window pane, and I was actually curious about this, what this is, because it is a nice arch way, but it is not like connected glass. I don't know if I like this. It's fine for like the other windows will go good with this, but I just don't feel like this will fit in with the rest. Now, glass, if I go to glass, you see there's a lot of options. Here you have framed glass, you have tiled glass, you have horizontal framed glass, you have framed glass doors, but I'll just take the normal glass, I think, for this one. Yeah, this looks kind of fire actually. Oops. And how does this look? How does this look? But I have a even better idea for the thumbnail. Like, what if we make it 3 stages? Although I don't know, like, maybe just 2 stages. No, I think we're going to stick with the 2-stage plan, guys. Okay, like this. And then get the spruce styled window, because we'll be using this a lot. And get that in here. And now for the final stretch of windows. Now when we go up, I'm actually going to use the block variant of the windows, because I just kind of want to make like frames around them, and I don't think that will look very good normally. So now we have that done here, and it looks nice from the sides especially. So next we're going to finish this level here. Just doing this real quick. Like this, and like this. So that's like kind of the first level. Now I want to design like a staircase. So wait, so let's just real quick from up here, because we're going to cut into the house. So we're going to have this stage here, and then the next like level will be going on this, will be like the wall. You will see during the planning. So now let's just make this a bit further out. Okay, and now I think that we can make this into a nice grand staircase. Yeah, this does look nice. Yeah, this does look nice. Oh, but this just looks fantastic. Oh, but this looks fantastic. And then wait, and then maybe I can design something here for the middle. Something like this, and then possibly, wait, what's beneath this block? Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. So wait, so I think I can make something for this. Like this. Something like this. I think that this will look nice, but I'm not sure. Kind of. It's not perfect, but could work. And And we have this nice area underneath here with this staircase, and we can maybe place furnaces here. So what I thought we would do is we would equal out this level to be like this, so we have like a nice space to put something here. Now on to the next floor. Now before we go on to the next floor, we still need to make sure that we can go on to our staircase, and that basically means ensuring that when you go up the staircase you won't hit your head. And you will not hit your head. You can climb up from around this block gap. But I was thinking, if we go 3 inwards, then we can make a open area out of this. So imagine like you have this square shape here, and then just do this, and then delete the outer part. And then you have this nice sink, and you can make an open area out of this. Second here, because we still of course will have to design this space. So I was thinking, if we put this here, well, we will have small troubles with our staircase, but only small problems, not big problems. But because when we go like here, we can make 1, 2, 3 here possible, and then up to support the weight of this, and then it copies to the other side. So this makes it a lot easier for us. So what I was thinking here is, because this most definitely looks nice, this grand opening, and then we will have some walls here on each side, of course, and lead us into this nice concourse and enter this area. And then what we can do is we can add walls to this side, and what will happen then, something did not exactly copy over. But why? Did the symmetry break here, or no? Our symmetry most definitely should work. I mean, we've designed this whole thing using the symmetry. Maybe it just breaks sometimes, that axis with the slabs, but that's fine. So what we will do next is we have this whole open concourse, and then what we'll have there is like a small balcony. So first of all, we will close this whole space. Take something like this to here. And then what I wanted to make out of this, guys, is basically we place one door here, 3, 4, and then basically we seal this off to become a nice balcony. And what I then had in mind, instead of doing the archway only here, we can do it at every singular one of these. And I have little bumps. I'll show you what I mean by that. Basically, we'll put this here. This here. Here. And then what we'll have is a nice area. That will be made perfectly. Now what we can do is start to slowly shift this up. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to replace these with blocks. So I forgot a block here and there maybe. Wait, I forgot to place blocks here in the middle. So what we will get are those cute little roofs. You just have to place blocks everywhere. And then place this on here. Basically do exactly the same thing. And then we'll get this nice design. This will continue moving upward, but this has to move upwards too. Now this looks a lot like a very complex structure, and that is because it is. What I wanted to make here was a big space for windows. And I think we can arrange that. By using the glass, the spruce window, and then this cool trick, the spruce pane. Everyone does this in their city buildings, but I will do it here. Make a nice texture out of it. I'll keep placing these blocks somewhere else, but that's because I have infinite reach, otherwise I wouldn't be able to reach far to build something. I think this will work pretty nicely, but I do feel like glass sliding doors would fit in here. So let me just real quick look. Maybe this could work out, but I am clearly not sure. Yeah, I mean it does look nice. With the symmetry they both open at the same time, but you know, that can happen. We will of course reset the symmetry after we are done with the main building. So we'll do this again. And then basically start doing the same thing. And getting this, you know, this nice shape, which we can use for our nice terrace that we'll have to build here. So we have a nice view downwards currently, and then I need to bring this up, kind of. So what I want to do here is basically close it off, but not suddenly having no space left. And I don't know if just straightening this out will make it look nice enough, but we can try. Just to see. this could ever work. So yeah, I think like when we like, you know, have this nice thing here, yeah, it's going to look a lot better when we make it ripply, not just bland and boring. So now this will be nice, I think. Here. And then that initial step is done. Now we just have to fill in our little things here. Okay, so I think this looks nice for a house like this. It just fits. It just fits. And you can still look down and have a beautiful view. I just need to put some fences in here. But this time I'm going to let them go up, because now that's going to look a lot nicer. Look at this, and you can look downwards and you will still have a nice view. So the front side of the house already looks majestic. Now for the last roof, which will be here, because we will go like, when we finish this level, this will be the main area here. So then for the roof, what I will do is black stone. So we finish this area and then we finish off the majestic medieval black stone roof. And because we use this symmetrical thing, this will be a lot easier than it would be normally. Because usually you'd spend hours on making the roof symmetrical. And we can use our nice trick again. Of doing this. To make the backside look a bit nicer. Also, we'll add some life to the backside later with some frames for the windows. And for these, I was just thinking just to make this. I think this also looks fine. Even though it has a little bit less texture, it still just works fine. And as I said, we're going to add some depth later. Now for the ceiling. And like this. We made the ceiling. So the last thing is just the main roof. So to start off with the roof, we first go into another inventory, black stone. And then all we're going to need is this and stairs, and possibly this, and maybe this too. So we're going to start with the initial shape of the house being like this. Look. Basically, this is the main shape of the house. So what we will want to do is make a roof like this, and then we're going to change that a little bit later. So basically what we'll do here is just start making a nice roof. And we are also will be needing to do this on the other side, of course. And then add this, and then maybe here add something like this to kind of merge the two together. There is a pretty big chance that we're going to hit some cave as we will be building. We'll hit the top of the cave, but I hope that we won't, because otherwise this entire build is not going to turn out that nice. And then like this, up by a block, and then through here like this. So it's already turning out great. And now for this part, because this is going to be hard. So basically what we need to do here is make this kind of thing. And I really hope that this will basically look way better than it looks now. I actually thought of something. We can make that later. So first of all, we're going to just, continue making this beautiful roof. And no blocks. And then stairs again. But as you have probably noticed, we're approaching the top, but I think we will not be reaching it soon. So that is great news. And what I wanted to do here is basically make this slightly larger area, like this. So this is basically like a kind of vibe I wanted to do. And then of course again like this, side to side. And then blocks. And then blocks again. And then a block and a stair. Okay, so this is kind of the last area, and here's where it gets a bit hard. So we put a block here, we go like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, to make this kind of shape. You could see this shape frequently on Viking houses. What I wanted to do here is do kind of the same little rippling action. Now making this a bit higher than the rest. But this can stay. And here's where the biggest part comes in. This is basically one of the hardest parts of this whole thing, is making it look nicer than it actually is. Basically with a lot of slabs, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make these little things, these little spikes on the roofs, because that was also a key thing. The other one I made. So this is kind of how the house turned out, and I just like how the roof is. But now we still have to do this last level, and we need to add a ladder to the whole mix or some kind of stairs, but I don't think there will be room for any stairs. First of all, the stairs are fully climbable. Just need ladders, so I think that we will just take straight up ladder, but brass ladder, all the way up. Into this whole entire roof thingy. And then we need to cover this up from the other side. So there are going to be two bumps on the roof, kind of like this on the back, which actually looks kind of nice. And of course the ladder all the way up to here. Next, for this, I think that I would love just take some glass and simply do this. Simply fill the entire thing in with this nice, and this just makes it look so much nicer. And some glass up front, but I actually was debating to make this into a little terrace so it can go out. So I think we're going to install a glass door here. And then what we'll be able to do next is maybe install some brass ladders somewhere else, but that's maybe for another time. So I think that the house turned out great, but there's this big area of lush, like, you know, of these things in the lush cave, and it's kind of annoying. I also don't want to stop them from growing completely. I just don't want them to cover the roof. Things like this maybe. Yes, this could improve it. Okay, last part, guys. The last part, which is the lightning. So I think we will primarily use lanterns and torches, you know. And for lanterns here, I just, maybe not these lanterns, saw lanterns, but they have the same bug. Lanterns, copper lanterns, they also have the messed up model. Wait, is this a resource pack? Connected glass, objects. Okay. Objects. Maybe if we remove this one. No. Torches work just fine. Oh, there's some other things that can generate light. I know it. Not only glowstone, but also mushroom. No, wait, what is it? Glowshroom. These guys can also generate nice lights, so we can use them too. Sparingly. They make for great light sources. So wait, let's open up here. Add one here. Add one here. And one here. So they are full blocks, but that makes them placeable anywhere and they still look good. And this area is also lit up because of those closed rooms. Also, if you use Axiom in survival, which I think is not possible, but if you manage to do it, you can duplicate items using the symmetry somehow. I do not know why that works, but it does. And finally, up here, sink is going from here, placing one here and there, and we have something nice. And definitely something beautiful. Because this just starts reflecting and then everything just looks so nice. So now that we have done that, we can basically just stop the symmetry. And before we start doing anything crazy, it is gone. The symmetry is gone. What I maybe thought to do was also make a little black stone fence here. With two of these guys. And then you of course need to pass using the dirt pass preferably. And then we just have the last step of this whole build, which is connecting this to there. So what I think we will do is we'll take this tool, go to stack, and just push this thing through here, and then we can just push it down, selecting this and putting it down. Okay, now that's perfect. And just for sure, to make this as nice as possible, I'm going to do this, this and this on each side of this road. Although I don't think we can do it on each side of the road. But we'll try. We will go up. Hopefully not cover the entire thing. We need to make this. Okay. 1, 2, 3 here. Make a nice ring of it. And then what I think we can do is just real quick turn this. So what we can do is make this a bit longer. Extend it, that's the word I was looking for. So we just go to here and then we select up to here. Or we don't want to go up, we just want to extend it like that. I don't know why there's water here at all. All I know is that I don't want it to be here. So if we can just route it a bit differently, I'll be more happy to do so. So first of all, we need to stop it from going up onto our beautiful bridge. There's plenty of space for it to take a different route. So it might have to come through here. Same with this. Let's do this. Pick a different route. And it still keeps coming through here. Okay, I think I'll have to block out these water sources for now, till we have a controlled environment for them. Because now they've just filled up a lot of space and caused a lot of problems in my build. So, let's try to do this again. But now in a little bit more of a controlled environment. And now what happens if I just and just comes through on its own? But this is a ton nicer. Wait, I think I have a solution for this. We curve the stairs so it looks a bit nicer. And then we have a nice thing here. And then you can go through this circle thing, and then we have to make the path until there, which will not be easy unless we use the path tool that Axiom provides us with. Path. Extend to ground. Line. Shape. Be flat. Okay, maybe then sphere to sphere. Brick. Stone bricks. radius 3. No. W. God, what is happening? I don't want this point to exist. God, leave this tool. Okay. So extend to ground and then radius 1. Why? Back here. Maybe just not extend to ground then? I don't know. What is flat? Okay, so flat is the point we actually want. So right, so we just real quick reset this. Pass tool. Radius 2 maybe? No, I think 1 will be plenty. So we go up through here and we arrive. Go. Enter to confirm. Okay, and I think this is a pretty nice path, and then we can just add some stairs. And then just to make it a bit nicer, add some stairs. Okay, and next, the last bit of decoration is the flowered azalea. Displays these around here, and they immediately light up this thing. And that's what I call a great success. And the next thing that we'll do is go to waypoints, waypoint menu, then T for teleport. Going to look at that block, that one right over there, a bit higher. Okay, and now F1, F2, back to F1. Okay. That was it for today. This house turned out great. It just turned out fantastic. I like how it looks. The reflectiveness. And even the attic has this kind of feel of it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you, for some reason, just like this video, then make sure to like. If you don't want to miss the next video, in which I'll be making the interior of the house, make sure to subscribe so you'll get notified. You can always unsubscribe later. And thank you. I'll be off.